guys, so this video is brought to you by Sweetwater, and all the gear in here in these videos that you see are sent to by Sweetwater, and nothing, they're not reviewing the video. So if you want the gear, just check out Sweetwater, link in the description, or it's just sweetwater.com, and continue the video.
Hi guys, sorry about that. So basically I'm gonna show you something that I had to set up. Let me just open the software real quick. So basically I was just testing something because I was planning on getting an actual because at first I'm explaining what I was gonna do. I wanted to get a PC, and I wanted to get a NAS, a cheap NAS that could run some actual software, the NAS for related software for like a dashboard for projects I'm going to do once I get that set up. You'll see that in the future. And so basically I wanted to do actually that. But the problem I had was that the Asator stuff, the apps don't work properly, and the cheaper QNAP stuff, the apps don't actually, most of the ARM stuff doesn't run the specific apps I wanted to install. So I had to go with an Intel one, which was a Celeron 4125. And basically I got that on order. And so because it's running Intel, x86 stuff works just fine on here. So yeah, and then I noticed that if I went for the higher end Intel one, I would have to go for a cheaper PPC to like run the specific software I wanted to run. And so the one I showed you in the video before, the Oprent software, it just would not, it was not power efficient for me. So because right now I have 2 external hard drives plugged in to my NAS, and then I also have some other stuff plugged in. And so in turn, I'll have to have my NAS plugged in. I would have to have a NAS plugged in, a computer plugged in, and then a laptop for some other like work stuff. And so the issue there was that's 3 actually plugs just for computer related stuff, and then the monitor and the charger for some charging stuff. That's more that uses all my power supply for the bad battery stuff, just in case of that. And then there's the Echo, so I can control the computer, and that's also on battery, so all that would be on battery, leaving me without a battery plug for that. And so basically I wanted to do that. I wanted to basically condense everything. And so I just did a test on my laptop. I basically installed VMware Workstation. VMware Player, which did not work out. It just gave errors after error after error. Then I installed VirtualBox, and it worked. And then I messed up a setting, and it just stopped working. Then I had to reinstall Windows. I just finished doing again just to do a test. So basically I tested so I can basically take my iPad, print, or any iOS device, including Mac OS. I go from the device to Oprent, which is on a virtual machine. That virtual machine is on my laptop, and that laptop is then connected to the print server, and the print server then goes to the printer. And in turn, it would be just like that, but my laptop would be the NAS. And the NAS would be having at least 16 gigs RAM just for running applications, for if I wanted to add another virtual machine, and if I wanted to add more software. But it would be maximum at least 2 virtual machines at most, because it's only a 4 core processor. If I want something higher, I'm spending like $1,000, and I didn't want to do actually that, just for to have a HDMI port, and the monitor would be hooked to the HDMI port with keyboard and mouse hooked to the the HDMI port hooked to the USB ports on the NAS, and then a Bluetooth hooked to there for speaker stuff. And then from actually there, I just pair the Echo to the Bluetooth, and then that would be there. And so from there, I would just run the virtual machine on there, because the only difference is it's a Celeron that's at 2 gigahertz, and then the i7, which is at 2.79 gigahertz, and it runs good on a single core on the i7, but it's an i7 that's limited to one core. So yeah, you have to think about that. So I'm guessing it's gonna run a little bit worse on the South Celeron, but as long as it's not like as long as the software can run, let me just show you. So the software's open, and let me just do it. Let's see. So here's the secondary machine. So let me just log into here. So as you can see, this is the laptop. And there's just some stuff on here from actually testing stuff. And this is gonna be for the NAS stuff. I just break stuff. So this is a virtual machine on the NAS. So if we look at the task scheduler, task manager right here, we're using one gigabyte of RAM, about 2 gigabytes from actually Firefox, but that's because I had the browser open. But let's just say we actually close the browser. We'll see how much it's being used. So 30% is just from this, because of that 30 megabytes of memory, and since it's running, since the NAS is going to be running Linux, there's going to be even less. There's going to be more overhead. So as you see, VirtualBox, or the virtual machine, is using 17% of the CPU. That's just one core. So if we go to here and go to here, and we go to Task Manager, you'll see this is the stuff that's running. So Edge is running because that's what I was using, and I could probably uninstall Edge just for the sake of uninstalling it. But right now we're using 62% of memory with all of this running. This is with this, which is 1.7 megabytes, and this is using far by the most. And you can probably disable most of these actual services, but because this is the one that needs to be ran. And so the only thing that's literally on here is printer drivers and this. And so if we look at performance, it's 7% of CPU, which is at 2.59 gigahertz, and it's just one socket, one virtual CPU. Virtual machine, yes, as no L1 cache. And we're at, the uptime has been 32 minutes and 50 seconds because I just reinstalled this. The Ethernet is something that's going to be high on both sides, because I have, go over the performance on here, the actual Ethernet is going through here too. So when doing this, you want to have a separate Ethernet plugs, so you can have one dedicated to actual virtual machine if you're only running one virtual machine, or you're running multiple virtual machines and just shutting them down. Have one dedicated NIC for the virtual machines. And with this one, it's using 1.2 gigabytes out of 2 gigabytes. So they get a virtual machine 2 gigabytes and the CPU 1 core, and that's how it is. If you look over here, there's 16 gigs over here and 4.5 gigahertz. So, and this is just a single core. So I'm guessing it's, I don't remember what core this specifically is, but if you look on here, change graph, there's no logical / NUMA nodes. NUMA nodes are where you have two processors. Half of the PCI slots are for CPU 1, other slots for CPU 2, other bank of RAM is for CPU 1, and other bank is for CPU 2. And just with these two things running, it's using a steady 2 gigabytes, almost 2 gigabytes of memory. And CPU is barely getting hit. The hard drive isn't getting hit because of, and I just noticed that if we go here, I can probably take the actual storage down from 50 gigabytes down to maybe 40, 42, or 45, since this machine isn't really connected to the internet, connected to the intranet. So basically, I have access to this virtual machine on my network, and just to make it so there is no internet sharing, like internet coming from this machine to here, I stopped updates just to make sure, because the update services are use more PCIs. I mean, so it's more resources, and then I also disabled a software called Windows Defender, and I was trying to figure out a way of how to disable the desktop and just leave Windows Defender on, because with actual the desktop, it just doesn't need to be accessed. I just need to have this software running in the background and a print server running in the background. I might make a script to basically toggle on and off the background. I mean the actual desktop, so it would run without that in the background. So yeah, if I figure that out, I will put in a thing at the end. Okay, so I'm talking about after the intro. So if you just see the video after the intro and there's nothing after that, then it just didn't work. Okay, so 1 second. So yeah, thanks for watching, and if you see it in the end, sweet. Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. So go down in the description and there is contact information if you need consulting or anything. Check my second channel. Subscribe to there too. Check out my blog. My email address is in there too. So